Hi everybody, I trust that you are well, and as always, thank you for returning to hear me talk. Looking at today's news, well, the royal news, I must say that it is all rather confusing, and it is very clear that the palace's communications and media centre is not operating as brilliantly as their principal, the king, may think they do. Just a quick look at the titles of the articles today. Royal family at war. Prince William is seething at King Charles's shock decision. Prince Harry makes unexpected appearance in King Charles's new documentary. King Charles just offered Harry a huge olive branch. Can you blame him for caving in? Yes, we can. Charles and William furious over Harry's shocking move. You know, sometimes I can only shake my head and wonder how people, be it journalists or editors, be so desperate that they turn out such shite. Prince Harry makes surprise appearance in King Charles's new documentary. No, both William and Harry appear in Charles's documentary Finding Harmony, a King's Vision. It's a documentary on nature featuring some old clips, one of which is of Charles fly fishing with Harry, and so on and so on. I mean, seriously, do magazines like People and newspapers like The Express really think that they will get more reads just because Harry's name is in the headline? Well, then they better start reading The Room, because as time passes, Harry is becoming more and more insignificant. William also features in two other clips, one lying in the grass and another tending to some cows. If we really want to be petty and competitive, we can say William appeared once or twice more than Harry. Wow! But, I think most people lately could not give a hoot. At least I don't. I don't care how many times Harry or William appeared in Old Charlie Boy's documentary. And why don't I care? Well, I personally love nature. I find plants and birds interesting, and even spiders. Some are really beautiful around here, like the garden orb. But do I want to sit and listen to Charles drone on and on and on and on about nature? No, I would much rather go outside and find my own treasures. But anyway, Charles and Camilla hosted a group of people, including a couple of actors, in the Waterloo Chamber at Windsor Castle to premiere the film documentary on the 28th of January. Now, apparently, allegedly, it releases somewhere today, the 29th. Whether that's also on Amazon Prime, I'm not sure, because there is a global release on February the 6th on Prime Video. And of course, it is all about Charles's pet topics: sustainability, climate change, conservation, and it includes, ta-da, 75 years of archived footage, all narrated by Kate Winslet, but old Charlie Boy has quite a few lines in the documentary. He has a couple of words to say on a number of occasions. Anyway, good for you, Kingy. I'll be giving it a miss, regardless of having swapped Netflix for Amazon Prime more than a year ago. Actually, a quick funny tale. Where we live, we need a dish to watch local television, and ever since we moved to the Western Cape, we did not bother to go buy a satellite dish or get a TV license or, get somebody to install it. Sometimes the installation is more expensive than the dish itself. So no, I mean, we needed Wi-Fi anyway, so it was much easier to get Netflix. And then eventually, I think beginning of last year, I had that fraud on my bank account, so I needed to change my bank details. And then obviously Netflix cancelled itself because no payment went through. And at the time, I decided not to reinstate Netflix and help pay for Megan's fetishes and her Coke, not the cola kind. So for the sake of the children, I got Amazon Prime, which I had before, incidentally, and which both my daughter and grandson now actually say that they prefer, except that sometimes you want to watch something and then you still have to go buy the video, which I absolutely refuse to do. Times are hard enough, go watch something else. But that is not all. I have been paying for either Netflix or Amazon Prime for ages. I'm talking about a good couple of years, and have only once watched a few episodes of Lucifer, and that's it. So it is all wasted on me. But regardless of that, I'm not curious at all to watch Charlie's Finding Harmony. But in light of all this, I got really curious last night and did some intense Googling. No, I won't be sitting through 2 hours of Prince Charles inside the Duchy of Cornwall either, and nor will I sit through an hour of Charles narrating his own life in Charles R., The Making of a Monarch. No, but geez, I mean, the king is quite the movie star, isn't he? Anyway, and as I was on this exploiting royal titles wicket, I went and looked up how many books Charlie had published. Well, 22, which I could find, and only 2 of them were earmarked for charity, namely A Salute to Cooking Celebrity Recipes in Aid of Chelsea Pensioners and The Prince's Speech on the Future of Food. The rest, I'm afraid, well, all for his own pocket. And expensive. Jeez. Did you know that these 22 books also include a children's book titled The Old Man of Loch Nagar? So you see, that is where Harry and Meghan got their ideas from. Harry with his book Spare, written or co-written or ghost-written with J.R. Moeringer, compares very closely to The Prince of Wales, a biography by Jonathan Dimbleby in 1994. Meghan's supposed children's book and the impending recipe book, oh yes, I do believe we'll see that one coming. I think her Love, Meghan, will likely be out mid-2027 or even maybe ready for this year's Christmas market, I'm not sure. Many people had said that Harry and Meghan are copying Sarah Ferguson York. You know which Sarah I'm talking about. But I don't think that Harry and Meghan are copying Sarah. I think they are copying good old Dad. The point is that it is hard to criticize, well, let's say Sarah, and actually say that she was exploiting her title and her royal connection, when the actual prince of the realm and now king is doing exactly the same thing, and he has been doing it for ages, basically forever. He wrote that children's book when he was 31 years old. So that's a long time, people. Well over 40 years. Anyway, when I come around with what is good for the goose should be good for the gander, people jump up and down my throat and tells me things like, he gives it all to charity. He gives all the money that he makes from his books to charity. No, he doesn't. Where do you think 3 billion worth of assets and money come from? Also, if anything is earned and sold on his private estates like Sandringham and Balmoral, the money is his to do with what he will. Those properties are not part of the Crown estate. It is private property and belongs to Charles. So after he has paid wages and services, water and lights kind of thing, and whatever else he needs to pay, maintenance and animal feed and blah, 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 whatever is left, he can do with what he wants. It is his. The property belongs to him. It is not part of the Crown estate, nor is it part of the Duchy of Lancaster. And besides, the monarch does not declare private income, not that we can see. So nobody knows what he took in from his books or the products that he sells at Sandringham. So anybody coming with, self-confidence and saying, oh, but he's giving it all to charity. No, you don't know that. You may think you know that, but you don't know that. And I don't think it is true either. Then let's have a quick chat about one of the other headings. Royal family at war. William seething at King Charles's shock decision. Oh well. The article speculates about Harry returning to the United Kingdom in the summer for the long-awaited family reunion. According to this outlet, Harry is just waiting to hear whether he is getting his royal protection back before making the final decision. Oh my word. Harry had 2 Metropolitan Police officers, and no, I'm not talking about the guys who stood at the gates and the doors of the court. I'm talking about guys who accompanied him from outside. He had 2, at least 2, Metropolitan Police officer and at least 1 Secret Service agent with him as he went into and out of court every day. Plus, he again had David Lansdowne as bodyguard. Now, would that not qualify as royal security? Remember what the Met Police told my friend? And no, I'm not getting it second-hand because I was on speakerphone. They said they do not owe anyone a statement. Security is between them and the Duke. But I would say security is between them and the principal. So, I don't know, you guys. I think Harry already has the royal protection. I think he already has that. They are just not talking about it because, number one, they don't have to. And number two, they know there will be a backlash. I'm just saying. Anyway, so Harry is due back regardless in July for the Invictus 1 year countdown. And seeing that Charles has offered them Highgrove to stay in, and now a summer vacation at Balmoral, allegedly. Well, what shall we say? We will see what happens, but I can fully understand William's anger because their summer holiday overlaps with his children's school holidays. And allegedly, during the Balmoral summit last year, William made it clear to Charles that he does not even want to be in the same room as Harry. So we will have to wait and see what happens. Allegedly, the majority of Invictus members do not even want Meghan at the 1 year countdown. At least the British team would prefer her to stay at home. But the last I heard, she was adamant about going. Oh well, I'm not going to even try and make a prediction. Things change so fast, so let's wait and see. Okay, guys, I'm off. Let me go. I've got a couple of other things waiting. Take care of yourselves and stay safe. Bye.